Joe D'Aloisio here for the Iona College Mass Communications Department alongside Thomas Ruggio, professor at the Fine and Performing Arts Center here at Iona College, currently the co-curator for an exhibition that's going on campus as we speak. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
Absolutely. And before we dive deeper into that exhibition and what went into it,
Sure.
let's get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Where did your passion for art come from?
Well, I think my passion for art came from just being in an environment at home when I was a little boy. I think everyone in the house knew how to draw more or less, so it was just something I picked up as part of what was going on in the house. No one had really studied as an artist, but it was just seemed to be an ability that everyone had. I found out when I went to kindergarten and sort of the lower grades that I could do that better than most. So it was something that I sort of stuck with and eventually studied.
And so you were able to bring that passion that you had and study it and then bring it to Iona College and teach. What exactly now are you currently teaching?
Well, currently I teach studio art classes and art history.
And what do those entail? What are some of the topics that go into those classes?
Yeah, drawing and painting. My area of expertise is drawing and painting and art history, so various periods. Ancient art history, Renaissance, Baroque, modern, American art history. I'm actually working on that course currently. We don't have it here yet, but I'm in the midst of drafting that. So those are my areas of expertise, but in visual arts we offer sculpture as well. There's an online digital photography class as well. So we've got a pretty good scope.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, co-curator for this new exhibition that's currently going on campus, as you could see right here, right now as we speak. What goes into something like this? The behind-the-scenes process of making something like this come together?
Short answer: a lot. From selecting the works of art that'll go into the exhibition, researching those works of art. Some of them have already been researched, but of course there's new connections to be made. This came from a private collection, actually. It's 26 drawings and paintings, and they were selected because there was a sort of a thread, an art historical thread, that put them all together. And I thought it could tell an interesting narrative. And that's the story I wanted to tell here at Iona, not just for the community at large, but for our students as well. So I was coming at this sort of as co-curator, as educator.
And you just mentioned about the process of kind of choosing.
Yeah.
What goes into that? How do you decide this is what we should be doing, and why do you, what is the thought process with that?
I can only speak for how it came together in this particular instance. We were actually given an opportunity to show some of the works from this very important private collection. And there were over 400 works. So, the first time I walked in to have a look, it was pretty overwhelming. But then I started to see some works that had a consistency and a connection, art historical connection. So I knew pretty much after the first visit that it had to be Peter Paul Rubens and the Flemish 17th century.
How important is Peter Paul Rubens to art in general, his impact on art?
Tremendous. Peter Paul Rubens is arguably one of the top 5 painters who ever lived. He's not the household name that Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci is, or Pablo Picasso for that matter, but Rubens is a giant art historically, and his legacy goes beyond the 17th century, 18th century, and the old masters. It actually really unfolds into the modern era as well. So he's tremendously important, and it was great to have his work and work connected to him here at Iona. It's really the first time we ever had anything like this at the college.
And this exhibition is currently open for students, faculty, as well as the community?
Sure, absolutely. Everyone can come and enjoy this until November 30th, actually. Come to the Art Center on North Avenue at the Brother Chapman Art Gallery, and you'll see a great show. There's also, as I said, not just great works of art, but I think there's a real good story that's being told there. There's some narrative didactic panels that are telling the story of Rubens and the era and how these pieces fit together.
Very nice. And before I let you go, thinking down the road, is there any other projects or anything else that is currently in the works that you're excited about?
Absolutely. I've got my eye on something. It could be a great artist coming to Iona from about 500 years ago. I don't want to reveal too many details because nothing's set yet, but yeah, I'm already working on the next project.
Perfect. So for one more time before I let you go here,
Sure.
where can students, faculty, and outside viewers come and visit this exhibition?
Well, come to the Art Center. It's right off the main campus on North Avenue, and enjoy a great exhibition, Peter Paul Rubens in the Flemish 17th Century, and it'll be open till November 30th. So.
Thomas, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For Joe D'Aloisio, this is Thomas Ruggio. Thank you for listening and watching.